Flashback to the last few weeks of Chapter 3 Season 3 vibin', where these weird chromy substances started to appear in places all across the island. But the most important thing that was going on was that 7 members were starting to go missing. It started off with the Foundation, who was nowhere to be seen on the island, but his helmet was found on a rock right next to the door that would lead inside to his monumental statue. Then it would be the Imagined that goes missing, leaving her blade inside the rave cave. But then her sister, the Order, would disappear too, leaving her wings at the last location she was at, Lazy Lagoon. So it was all really weird. 7 members were just starting to disappear with barely a trace. And the Paradigm had to figure out what was going on. And well, eventually she kind of did, and then she said this.
I found the scientist. He's in his underground biolab researching that strange substance spreading across the island. The visitor is there too, along with Origin.
Now, the Paradigm flew down to this secret underground biolab to see the Origin, the scientist, and the visitor there. And well, it was clear that the weird chrome taking over the island had something to do with the disappearances of the other 7 members. Hence, the scientist was looking into a sample of this chrome, but then...
Whoa! Starting to think this may be a problem.
Get out of here! That's an order!
And gone. The chrome had taken out the scientist, the Origin, and the visitor. But the Paradigm managed to escape the lab, making her the only standing 7 member out there. But the Paradigm needed to do something, as the Herald and her Wrath of Chrome is now on the island. So the Paradigm decided to jump into the 0 point, making her way back to Reality 659, which is her home reality. Reality 659 is also home to the Reality Warriors as well, who are actually very important, but I'll get into them later on into the video. But the Paradigm is there to seek advice about ways to protect Reality 0 and most importantly, the 0 point. Whilst Jones and the scientist's AI, Amy, guides us on the island until Fracture, where the Herald would chrome the entire of Reality 0, causing it to be obliterated. So, to save us and the 0 point, the Paradigm had to initiate Zero Fusion, where the 0 point would latch onto parts of different realities and merge them all together to create one big island. Reality 659 being one of these merged realities. So yeah, the Paradigm watched this all unfold. But when Asteria was actually created, she just disappeared, now making the status of every single 7 member dormant. Now, on Asteria, the only person, or well, should I say being, or well, thing related to the 7 was Amy, who as just an AI had to figure out what happened to the entire 7. Amy sent objects and a fragment of herself into a rift of where she thinks the 7 are at. And then when the Amy fragment was rifted back onto the island, well, she had a lot of things to tell us about the 7 and what's going on with them right now. The fragment confirms that wherever the 7 are right now, they are all changing and being sculpted into something anew.
The test rift locked onto the scientist, and something horrible is happening to him. What could be darker than the worst fate imaginable? The second that gate is online, I need to be ready to use it, to find him, before it's too late.
And then after that, the AI of Amy was transplanted into the body of the robot AIM. And then Amy left Asteria by the rift gate to go find where the 7 are at. And she is going to try and bring them back. But that was all almost 2 years ago now. We haven't seen the 7 ever since then. So it seems like whatever took the 7 took Amy too. Now, why did I just spend almost 5 whole minutes explaining what happened to the Seven. Well, you see, there's been a lot of discussion regarding the Seven lately. The last message we got from Amy Fragment on Asteria was at the Cuddle Team Leader head. And well, this exact same Cuddle Team Leader head is now on the Chapter 5 island in the Wasteland. But unlike the head when it was in Chapter 3 and Chapter 4, the head in Chapter 5 has no eyes. Which is weird, and it's believed that the head was added without eyes to remind us of the corrupted Seven. Either way though, it's all just really suspicious. Especially that on the same day of this map edition, the whole entire Chapter 3 Season 4 map was added back to the files. And it was actually the last version of the Chapter 3 island, and it was really weird. Like, the whole entire of Artemis got added back into the files. And even though it has not been confirmed whether this action was accidental or it was added back to the files on purpose, it's all still really suspicious. And also, you want to know something else that's a bit suspicious? Is the Paradigm's new style. If you didn't know, a few weeks back, Epic Games accidentally re-released the OG limited time exclusive Paradigm skin back into the item shop. It was becoming one of the most rarest skins in the entire game, and while Epic did remove it from the item shop like after an hour, but players who brought the Paradigm back in Season X were really mad, because it was promised that the Paradigm would be a limited time skin. So to make up for the mistake, Epic Games said that everyone who originally brought the Paradigm skin back in Season X will get a new exclusive style. And well, it took about 2 months for Epic to actually give out this style, and while you may expect the new style to be like a visor or a really boring generic variant or something, well, no. What Epic gave us was actually oddly specific. They gave us this new purple style, it looks pretty cool and everything, but the name of this style is Reality Warrior. And while you may think that the name doesn't really mean much, but it actually means quite a lot. Because the Reality Warriors are a very important faction within the Fortnite storyline, and they're much related to the Seven as well. And as said, back in Paradise, the Paradigm visited the Reality Warriors in Reality 659 to seek guidance for how she should defeat the Herald and protect the 0 Point and us. And again said, the Reality Warriors gave her the advice of initiating Zero Fusion. Now, who exactly are the Reality Warriors? Well, they're pretty much an older day version of the Seven. Or well, to put it into better words, they are literally the ancestors of the Seven. With this woman who is statued right here most likely being the Alpha, well, okay, I could maybe use a better word than Alpha, but like the leader of the Reality Warriors and the founder of the main actual Seven. We really don't know that much about the Reality Warriors, and the only time we've actually had a season that was really to do with them was Chapter 4 Season 1, as there were a few battles between the Reality Warriors and the Oathbound, who were literally an older day version of the Imagined Order. But yeah, it is a bit surprising seeing Epic going specifically into detail and naming this Paradigm style Reality Warrior. And while looking at this and all of the other latest hints, are the Seven actually returning? Well, the chances have definitely been increased, but it's still not 100% confirmed. Because remember, we don't have Donald Mustard anymore, it's Charlie Wen now. And while he seems to be going his own direction for the storyline, or is he? Because some people are starting to think that maybe Charlie Wen will continue Donald Mustard's story. As do remember the fact that Mustard's story was only put on a big fat pause. Plus, in an interview, like last year back in Chapter 4 Season 2, he did say that the story of the Seven wasn't over and that they do need to find their way back alive again. But he did say this before he retired, although he did say this after he stopped writing the story a bit back in Chapter 4. So we don't have a clear answer if the Seven are gonna return anytime soon. But when looking at all the hints right now, I honestly think that they will return sometime in the nearer future. My bet is that they're gonna make a full return in Chapter 6. But as the Amy Fragment said, they are going to be different, and they're going to be evil. And it's also heavily theorized that next chapter is going to have a superhero theme to it. So maybe the superheroes could could fight the corrupted Seven and Amy. And it could also be where we see long-awaited characters as well. For example, the new Herald variant that has been sitting in the survey skins for years now. Or maybe even the General, who we were leaked about like last year. But those are just my guesses, and again, I think that we could probably see the corrupted Seven in Chapter 6. And that the eyeless Cuddle Team leader head is currently teasing the corrupted Seven. Do I think we'll see the Seven in Chapter 2 OG? No, I don't, because Chapter 2 OG is going to focus a lot on Midas. And it's been confirmed that the Chapter 2 OG live event that will bring us into Chapter 6 is to do with the device, not the island flipping. So I don't see where the Seven could return in Chapter 2 OG. But there's definitely a chance for their return in Fortnite Chapter 6. But do you guys think that we'll see the Seven anytime soon? If soon, when exactly? Let me know down in the comments. And just know that the second half of this video was literally just built up on speculation and theories, so take things that I said in this video with a grain of salt. But yeah, for more content like this, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel as well, and why not join my Discord server, link in the description below. But for now, just remember that if the Seven do return anytime soon, they won't be the same.